Hello and welcome to the JFrog HowTos. My name is Van Ruppert and I will explain you how you can create with policies and rules in combination with watches a complete overview about known vulnerabilities and compliance issues of all your repositories. If you're interested in this, stay tuned. Now we want to see how to create watches and how to use them. For this you have to log in into your instance of your JFrog platform. If you don't have access to an instance already, then check out my tutorial about how to activate a free tier. Then you can create your own instance and it will take just a few minutes. So first of all, log in. The next thing is we have to navigate to Applications, Security and Compliance, and then Watches. What are watches? Watches are the overview of known vulnerabilities or compliance issues that are found in a composite of repositories based on policies. If you want to know more what policies are and how to create them, please check out my tutorial about this one. Now we want to see how to create a watch. So, new watch. First of all, we need a name. And if you like, a description. And the next thing would be you can add some email addresses if you want to be notified if there is something new or if there's a rescan done and found some new entries. The first thing you have to do here is that you have to define what are the resources you want to scan. It could be repositories, build information or bundles. I'm just using here repositories. You have different possibilities to define what repositories should be included. You can just say any repository, or you can just select a combination of repositories. The selection of repositories is not bound to the package manager technology, so it's not in the way that you just have to select Maven or Docker repositories or whatever. You really can freely build a composition of repositories you want to scan. So it's a logical structure you should follow, not a technical one here. So after selection of the repositories, say save. And the next thing would be to define what policies should be used to scan these associated resources. So we are going on Manage Policies. And now we can select always already created policies. Here I have just one in my demo system and I'm selecting this one. If you want to know how to create these policies, check out my how-to about this one, please. So you can have a bunch of policies here. These are just the rules. What are the rules to define you found something? Now we have everything. We have the resources, we have the policies, and we can create the watch. Oh, it already exists. Okay, let's see, a different name. So it must be unique. So great. So if you have created this watch, the main thing is that it will take some time to calculate the violations, and this is based on CPU power and on the amount of binaries you are selecting for scan. I've done this one before, and what you can see here is the watch name. You can see the associated resources. Here I just have a few Docker repositories. You can see how many violations you found. You can restart, so you can apply on existing content, and you can see what was found. You can filter the elements you have here, but if you have some entry, the first of all is the summary with a short description, the level of that was identified based on the CVSS score for security issues. You see the resources, it's found in this Docker.io cache repository. The component, it's part of the libxtables library inside Debian Buster. And the component that's affected. Here it's a layer inside the Docker image library buildpack depths. So if you want to have a more detailed information, then you can click here on summary. What you will get is the ID, the type, the name, provider, the summary, and so on. Important is quite often the CVE number. So with this you can have a look up in public available CVE databases. And what you will see is a whole impact graph. So for this one here, it's a library inside Beam Buster that is inside this Docker layer, and this Docker layer is used by this Docker image library buildback depths. So you have the full view or the full impact of a vulnerability inside a composite of technologies, because you see here the full impact graph. All informations are available via REST interface, so third parties can consume this information as well. For this, check out the documentation about the REST API and maybe the command line interface as well. So for this, try it out and have fun.